What's up, family? Welcome to the Mental Game Podcast, man. I'm in here by myself. Solo episode, man. It's the last episode of the year. I'm shooting it. Today is the last day of the year. I know I usually post my Mental Game Podcast on Mental Mondays, but hey, let's do it. Last show of the year. Life's a mental game. You need the right mentality to survive, man. It's the Mental Game Podcast, man. The last show of the year, man. I'm doing a solo episode today. Um, couldn't I didn't really I didn't want to bother anybody today. Because I know this is a day that, everybody wants to generally be either at home with their families, to bring in the new year with, somebody special, those special people in their life. I'm gonna do the same. Um, I'm probably gonna say a lot because I'm doing this podcast by myself today. It's my first solo one, so we gonna see how this gonna go, man. Yeah. So I first I want to address that little. I had like a little rant on Facebook. It's like just basically addressing how I felt. Nobody really said anything, so I guess everybody knew that storm was gonna blow over, man. But I just been uh the end of the year has just been a little rough for me and my family, and just the way things have been going for me behind the scenes, not necessarily anything I talk about on the podcast. It's been a little rough, man. So, I just felt I had to get a few things off my chest. And I felt kind of like I was speaking for, other people maybe in my position or in different positions that, sometimes in life, as a man, I feel like, our feelings are kind of discarded in how we feel. And, generally as that person that kind of is there for everybody and is generally does stuff for everybody, can sometimes be taken advantage of, kind of they take your kindness for weakness in a sense. So, that post was for me and for everybody who, generally felt that way. You know what I'm saying? If you missed it, you missed it. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what I'm talking about. And yeah, I just basically wanted to address that first. Moving on, got everything on my tablet today. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's having a great time today. Um, I'm hoping everybody's made it safely to this point in the year. I know there's some people in our lives, and that's been a part of our lives for a long time that didn't make it to this point. Both uh, friends and loved ones and whatever that may be. Some people didn't make it here with us, and literally and figuratively. Some people passed on, and some people have friendships and relationships have fallen apart, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Some things fall apart to come together. Some things fall apart because that thing didn't serve you anymore, and uh, some things fall apart to kind of be like satellites of one another. Saying maybe your paths didn't just quite aligned together, but you're still in the same universe. It's still existing in the same universe for that, and that's healthy too. I commend the people that are adult enough to be able to have that type of relationship, whether it's, you realize that you can't be friends with somebody, so you're still cordial, you still decide to exist in the same universe, even if you're in a relationship, and you desire, y'all got a common goal or a common thing between y'all, an agreement between y'all, uh, to exist in the same universe because y'all are still on the same team in a sense, and things of that sort, man. And I just want to, shout out to all the people that's, done been through something this year. We all have been through something. We all dealing with something. We all got something going on, and just want to encourage y'all to keep building on whatever it is that you got going. It's not the end. This is just the end of the year. It's not the end of life. It's not the end of your journey. You know what I'm saying? Your journey continues. And I just want to continue to encourage people to just, in this coming year, be the continue to be the best version of you. Continue to build on you. Continue to build on adversity. Continue to build on, these things that was just put in your way to stop you. Don't let you stop you. Have that relentless approach to conquer anything that's set in front of you. I want to leave you with that. And a lot has happened this year, man. For me, um, I've had a lot of accomplishments, man. I finally decided to, start a podcast, do something different. As everybody knows, Mental Game started as a clothing brand. Um, and I wanted to find another way to promote my clothing brand. Kind of promote the message that's behind my clothing brand. I just wanted to promote positive mentalities to have and positive sayings, and just uh, let everybody know how important it is to strengthen your mind. You know what I'm saying? Your mind is got to be the strongest muscle in your body, man, or else you won't survive. You got to have the mentality to survive. There's four main mentalities that I um have not created, because these have already been in play. I just have my own spin on them, and the way I explain them, I'm gonna explain them later on in this podcast. Um, the way I explain them, I believe if you have that mindset, you have that, that way about going through life, and I feel like you can survive life. You carry yourself in a certain manner, a certain way. You think about things a certain way. You control your mind. I feel like you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? This is not gonna be that long of a podcast. I got, usually, it's my podcasts go about an hour long, because I'm generally having a conversation, and sometimes, earlier in the year, we would, we had certain topics we were talking about and stuff like that, and those topics would carry on into other conversations and other topics and stuff like that, and that's why my podcasts are always lengthy. This is not going to be that long, because I'm here talking to myself and talking to y'all, but I don't have anybody in studio, feeding back off me for me to respond to. So I'm gonna try this, take a page out of my boy Dante's book, you know, aka D Rich, his podcast Nobody Asked. Take a page out of his book, man, because he does an awesome job doing solo podcasts. I want to shout him out real quick. I believe, he needs to have a class called Nobody Asked 101. There need to be like there need to be a college elective or something like that, because dude gives a lot of mental game on his podcast, and shout out to him. Even though I want to give all my people they flowers while they still here. A lot for me has been accomplished. As far as starting the podcast, the clothing brand didn't take off how I thought it would. Basically, nowadays in today's climate and society and things like that, usually a positive podcast doesn't do that well, unless, what I'm saying, you already had a big following doing something else. So, if I ain't, I kind of feel like if I'm not talking about going upside somebody's head or something like that, people generally not gonna listen, because I'm trying to do something positive, trying to do something constructive, trying to show love in a sense, and be that shining example for showing love. But I understand that situations where you can't always do that, and that's why your mind has to be strong enough to be able to decipher through these things. And but still, a lot's been accomplished. I've gained a lot of new followers, a lot of friends, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on my podcast. A lot of critiques, but that's cool. I take critiques. I take all kind of constructive criticism, and all that stuff. I love it all. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, keep it coming, keep it rolling. I'm not above reproach. I'm not above constructive criticism. I take that all day, and I love it, because it gives me something to build off of, and I can, continue to get better and better. You know what I'm saying? So I love the constructive criticism. I appreciate the constructive criticism. Um, I have a couple of, not physical awards, little silent awards to give out. I'm gonna do that at the end of the show too, kind of, raising an awareness that, it's nothing big. It's just me just giving a few people recognition for, the small little critiques and stuff like that, and just being available. And I just really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate y'all, man. Like, just my support group that's out there. Um, my regular listeners, what I'm saying, I really appreciate y'all, just taking an hour or so out your day. I know me and my sister-in-law, we had a 2-hour podcast, and that one did pretty well. I mean, they all do pretty good. As long as I know somebody's listening, I'm generally okay. And I appreciate y'all, my subscribers for, just taking time out to, hear me talk about whatever every week. So I appreciate y'all. What I'm saying, I've made a lot of people, met and made a lot of friends and uh acquaintances, whatever, outside of doing this podcast stuff. Going into the new year, man, we're gonna do some new things. I know I always said it on here, and I'm guilty of procrastination because I ran into like a little bit of a hiccup. So I wasn't able to do as many pop-up shops or any pop-up shops like I wanted to. It was always something happening, just with the time wasn't there. Really generally focusing on other stuff. But coming in the new year, I'm doing different things, moving differently. And I'll say it again, pop-up shops are coming. Because in the new year I know there's more opportunities, and more funds for me are going to be available. I've been putting a lot of other stuff together, outside of the podcast and the clothing brand world. So I'm gonna be getting that together, and it's gonna be happening in the new year. What I'm saying, I'm very optimistic about all of it because it's something I've always just wanted to do and promote, and just get my people's mind right. Get everybody's mind right in a sense, so that we all can be on, share our commonalities instead of sharing our, differences, and, having disagreements and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Feel like if we can all get on a positive mind frame, maybe we won't, beef as much as we do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we won't have all this static that we have. You know what I'm saying? We got to start somewhere. We got to start with somebody. And, my recommendation for everybody, start with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself straight. You're saying you can't get anybody else straight if you ain't right. And I'm guilty of that too. I'm human just like everybody, but one day at a time, I get better and better every day. So, you know, moving on. Uh, we've had a I've had a you know, I've had a good time, um on this doing this podcast. I've learned a lot of stuff that I didn't know about my own family on the podcast, just hearing their stories. And I know I didn't look surprised on the show, man, but there's a lot of things that you know my brothers, my sisters, my mom has gone through that it prompted a lot of prompted conversations that were never had, and they were never had because you didn't know that the questions to ask. And you get on a certain topic, and and this is on the podcast and behind the scenes. I started learning different things about my family that I just didn't know. And I believe that is healthy, negative or positive. You start, knowing who people really are, and I've known these people for well over 30 plus years. And some of these things I've never known about them, they shock me. It is what it is. I was shocked. Yeah, I ain't embarrassed about it. You got some people that's married to people for 50 something years and don't know who they are. So I'm not embarrassed. So don't y'all be coming for me in the comments and stuff like that, man. Um, you know, I want to talk about, talk about all my platforms I'm on. I know a lot of people, I run into contact with a lot of people that don't have Spotify. Everybody should have YouTube. So, I'm on Spotify, I'm on YouTube, I'm on iHeartRadio, I'm on Apple Podcasts. And with Apple Podcasts, it opens me up to be on it's another 5 other podcasts that I can be on. If what else am I on? I'm pretty much everywhere, man. I'm everywhere. Thanks to the good people at Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout kind of helps me out with kind of shotgunning my podcast many, many other platforms, man. I'm even on Amazon Music. And the list goes on, man. I just want to continue to get bigger and bigger. Next year we're gonna have more guests, you know, probably have a little bit more controversy. I'm gonna try to I know trying my one of my brothers said, Don, that he's been on the show. He says trying is a failing word. Um, I'm getting that out of my vocabulary, but I'm gonna have more controversial conversations that need to be had. And I feel like they just need to be talked about. Um, you got to kind of get to the nitty gritty, man. They popping fireworks already. I don't know if y'all could hear that, man, but they getting busy already with the fireworks. You know what I'm saying? There's people out here. They. I don't understand how people have fireworks through the night, but I'm gonna make sure I get back home and in the bed before all that starts going on. We got a I don't know I don't know if I've told everybody. You know, what I'm saying I've joined the motorcycle club. You know, what I'm saying we got a ride tomorrow, so I'm gonna make sure I'm in the bed so I can be up and ready. Get the dogs together and all that stuff so we can be ready for this ride tomorrow. Um, but yeah, back to I'm on all platforms, man. Y'all can reach me everywhere. It's hard for me to track all the stats of my podcast because they're on so many different platforms. So I got a bunch of people listening here, a bunch of people listening there, and that's another thing about spreading the word for my podcast and my clothing brand in this new world, this new climate, this society that we living in now. Facebook kind of runs everything as far as promoting your stuff. And I've been having a problem with being shadow banned for majority of this year. When I first started, I got a big push and then it kind of died down. And then, I don't know if Facebook thought I was on some scam shit or whatever, but hey, Facebook, man, let me be me. YouTube, let me be me, man. Like let my podcast and let my clothing brand live, man. Stop shadow banning me. Let me preach this positivity, so to speak. And but yeah, man, that's what. If you haven't seen me, if you just not seeing me, you just not hearing about my podcast, it's Facebook fault. It's YouTube fault. They've been shadow banning me. They ain't letting me be great. You feel me? So with that being said, man, hopefully in the new year that changes. You know, Dick Gregory don't come for me. I know what I'm saying hope. There's all these words you try to get out your vocabulary here, listening to these other people speak. But look, hopefully in the new year, these people stop shadow banning me and let me be great. You know what I'm saying? Let me get out here and be great. Um Now into some positivity, you know what I'm saying? Going into this new year, man, I want to encourage everybody to just if you doing something positive, you know what I'm saying? Let me reiterate on you doing something positive, you doing something constructive, you trying to make a way for yourself and your family, man. Continue to believe in yourself, man. I believe that each and every one of us has what we need to succeed already in within us. You know what I'm saying? In your heart, in your mind, especially. I believe we all have the tools. We all possess the ability. You know what I'm saying? We just need to put it in action. And one of the main things we need to stop doing is beating ourselves up and getting on our soapbox. And just well, we need to get on our soapbox. That's a whole nother story. We need to get off this, just this negative mentality, thinking everything is, just bad and everything's happening to us. This, because usually when you drudge that negative stuff keep coming your way because you laying out a path for it. You know what I'm saying? Let's block all that negativity. Let's continue to speak positivity into yourself. That way you can spill positivity into other people. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody that I bump elbows with in 2024 to just continue to be positive, continue to stand on positivity, because stand on your mentality, stand on getting your business right and your mentality right, stand on getting your mind right. This year the main saying for everybody was standing on business. Uh, Next year let's stand on mentality. Let's stand on getting our minds right. Let's stand on being constructive and just not just outright being negative and out here being like a catalyst for negativity, man. Let's continue to be a catalyst for change. Let's continue to create change and get our minds right. Stand on mentality and just be the people that we need to be instead of the people that we feel everybody want us to be. You know, let's be the people that we needed when we were younger. You know what I'm saying? Let's be the big brothers that many of us wish we had. Let's be the big sisters that many of us wish we had. Um, let be the mentors that we wish we had when we were kids, when we were coming up to teach us the game. If you got the game now, don't stand on. I mean, not don't stand on it. Don't keep it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you got the game, spread the game. You know what I'm saying? If you got the game of life at least halfway figured out, a quarter way figured out, and you feel like you can help your brother, help your sister. Let's help each other, man. Let's focus on, getting our minds right. Because right now it's like society's growing more and more insensitive, and and we need to change, man. But another thing I want people to start doing, I want y'all to start really paying attention to yourself and what you're good at. Start recognizing your gifts and start honing your talents and start, really getting everything, all your stuff together, man, going into this new year. Because I've seen, recognize, and I know so many positive and so many talented people. And just that's just in my daily walk in life, being in work, being out here on the street, walking through these stores and stuff like that. And I just see the talent that so many people have, on watching YouTube, watching these different reels on Instagram, so many talented people, you know what I'm saying? And to the people out here like me, that's, you feel like you're not getting that many views and that much growth on your accounts and stuff like that. Man, keep going, man. Keep being positive to within yourself, and just keep growing, man. Keep doing it. Keep doing it for you. You know what I'm saying? And your people, you'll find your people. I'm a firm believer in that. Because this year I found the first set of my people. I'm gonna say that, and for the years to come, I'm gonna find the rest of my tribe. And continue to encourage the people that need encouragement. The people that you never know, that might be somebody on my level that sees me and uh wants to hear what I say, and it might help them. You know what I'm saying? If I'm doing something wrong, let me know. And I want y'all to always stay motivated. Uh, always be your best motivator, because another thing I've realized this year, you got to be self motivated. Not everybody don't know how to motivate you, but you do. You know what motivates you. You know what gets you going. You know what gets you started. You know what pushes you. So motivate yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that to just be like selfish, promote anybody to be selfish or anything like that. But you know, with us being able to be our worst critics, I believe we can be our best motivators. And I believe that we know in our minds, we know in our hearts, we know being in the skin we know what motivates us and pushes us down the road and what can get us down the road. And I feel like we need to tap in that and just learn how to continue to propel ourselves, down that road, catch that second win, second, third, fourth gear, whatever it is, whatever it is that you need to push you down that road. What I'm saying, I believe that we need to capitalize on that, man. And I just want to leave y'all with something. In the new year, I got, like I said, about the different mentalities that I like to capitalize on, or I like to promote in my business. I have four of them. I have king mentality, I have queen mentality, I got alpha mentality, and I got survivor mentality. Now I know on my website I had monarch mentality, but I'm still working on that one. But the first one is um, king mentality. No, king mentality is described by me. Now these not the definitions you gonna find anywhere. This is just me. King mentality: noble attitude, sophisticated way of thinking, mindset that sets you apart from the rest, power and intelligence. Now, when when I think of this one, I'm generally just thinking of, the male leaders, which should be everybody. We should all be leaders, and I know we need followers too, but there's a time to lead and there's a time to follow. But when I think about leadership, I think of king mentality. What I'm saying? You gotta have a special way of thinking. You gotta have you gotta recognize the power you have. And with that power, you need to be intelligent. What I'm saying? About how you use it. You gotta be smart. You can't just be out here power tripping. You know what I'm saying? Because, that in a sense that's negative. You know what I'm saying? I work with people who power trip. You know what I'm saying? I have worked with people who power trip, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of times I have to tell people that like, look, man, uh your job is your job. That's what you chose to do. Nobody well, I just be speaking for myself. Nobody here is trying to take power from you. You know what I'm saying? You got that position for a reason. You know, use it wisely, and and remember that you over human beings and at the same time. The next mentality I have is the queen mentality. And this one goes overlooked. I'm a mama's boy, and I believe that my mom kind of she's the person that embodies this, that I've seen example on display. The mother of my child too, Terica. Um, she embodies this too, with her family, because she's kind of like, I see her as the leader in her family, on both sides, her mom's side and her dad's side. Um, Queen mentality, humble leadership, clear communication, an advocate for self love and self resilience. Now, I put that, that basically describes my mom to a T, because, my mom has been the monarch. There I go with that monarch mentality. She's been the monarch of our family for years. She's been the person that kind of keeps everything together, because even if she's not stern with it, she kind of tells us everything individually, and it keeps all of us in line. Uh, I want to encourage all my young ladies to, hone in on this mentality. Because women in a sense are leaders too. You know what I'm saying? I believe, in a sense, yeah, you know, females are leaders too. Females can be leaders too. But like I said, you know what I'm saying, with, power and intelligence, you know what I'm saying, you got to realize the power you have and you got to be responsible with it. You know what I'm saying? We can't be out here being spiteful with our power. Okay? And next one, alpha mentality. Knowing you can handle anything that happens. People like you don't often happen. Never forget how rare you are. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody can be an alpha. And you know what I'm saying? Not everybody can. And once everybody realized that, what I'm saying, that's one of the things I mean when I talk about realizing your talents and realize what you can and can't do. Realize what you're good at, realize what you're not good at. Not everybody can be an alpha. And an alpha is not always negative. Um, Kind of like alpha to me, the alpha mentality to me is kind of like one of the versatile, mentalities, to have. And it's not, I don't believe that is male or female. I believe females can be, in some senses, females can be alphas, or put in alpha situations. I witnessed my mom, be the alpha of the family, of her family, for years. So I believe that mentality is universal. Anybody can be an alpha, but there's not many of them. It's not many alphas. Alphas are rare. Okay, and then we have my favorite, survivor mentality. That's kind of what my brand is all about. You know, a lot of people don't know. Like, my whole life has been about surviving. People that know me and my family personally, that's basically our whole motto has been surviving, getting through this life. Up until this point. Survivor mentality. This is you are an overcomer, adaptive and resilient, incredibly strong, invaluable, able to endure hardship and challenges. And that's what my brand is all about. That's kind of what the mission statement of my brand is. Just continue to survive, continue to build, be able to handle whatever's thrown your way, being resilient, overcoming, all that, man, all that good stuff. And you just want to encourage y'all and just have y'all bring that with you forward into the this coming year. Just continue to be positive, continue to avoid the negativity, overcome every obstacle that's been put in your way, have a resilient pursuit for you know, unrelenting pursuit for your goals in 2024. Um, Another thing, I don't know if I've been posting my dog Gamma on social media. Gamma is an XL bully that I got from Kush Bully Kennels. My boy Ben over there, he's doing a great job. He has some beautiful dogs. I got me a puppy this year from Ben, and he's a year and one. Let me see, he's a year and 1 month and some change now. He's ready for stud, man. So if y'all seen Gamma, he's a beautiful dog. He's real energetic and all that good stuff, man. I try to have him on the show, but his anxiety is so bad, man. He just can't sit still, man. He would probably be knocking over everything on the table. Uh, he'll probably jump up here and probably, you know, kiss me in the face and just do some gamma shit. That's what we call it around here. I mean, that's that gamma shit. That's that shit gamma do. But he's ready for studying, man. Y'all DM me, get with me, for all your serious inquiries only, man. Don't be flooding my inbox just being nosy. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to know, get with me. Um, I'll be happy to do whatever it is that we gotta do, man. But he's available for studying. You know, that business venture has now kicked off. Mental Game Kennels. Yeah, that they got a decent ring to it. But we gonna see. We gonna see. But yeah, he's been growing good. I've been feeding him pretty good. Um, he's been doing good. He's been doing good. He's been terrorizing everybody else, but he always gonna be that little puppy, or that big puppy he was when I brought him home. So yeah, serious inquiries, man. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But I go ahead and get into my awards now. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably gonna put in like a little sound bite of hands clapping or something. Like I can't reach my soundboard right now, it's all the way down there. But I got some awards, man. Like my guest with the most watched episode was my mom. My mom is the my episode that has the most watches this year. Like I said, I don't know the stats because these stats I'm seeing is different from YouTube. The stats y'all can see on YouTube is different from the stats I can see on all my other platforms. But my most listened to and watched episode is uh episode 21, I believe, with mental toughness. I didn't write it down. I just know it was the episode with my mom on it. And the reason I chose my mom for that episode, she has to be the most mentally tough person that I know to have gone through and endured everything that she's endured. We're gonna keep the story to myself. I'm waiting for her book. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully when she sees this, she's encouraged to, finally get down to the nitty gritty and start writing and start telling her story. And that way y'all can know, the resilience my mom has, the survivor mentality that my mom has embodied within herself. Um, you know, Being retired military, retired. She used to work for the federal government. Um, just to endure all of the things that she's endured and all the things that she's dealt with, man. I commend her for everything that she's been through. Okay, moving on. My most popular listener city besides Houston, because man, Houston's numbers was crazy, man. Shout out to Houston. And it's crazy because I'm from New Orleans, and New Orleans wasn't even, Louisiana wasn't even top 5 on this list, man. My Louisiana people, man, y'all got to start showing me some love, man. But I know, ever since Katrina, we kind of been shotgunned out throughout the nation, so we everywhere now. But my top listener city, besides Houston, because Houston blew it out the water, man. I appreciate y'all. Was Kansas City, man. Shout out to people in Kansas City. I didn't even know people love me in Kansas City. So I didn't even know I had listeners out there like that. But shout out to the people out there in Kansas City that's listening, man. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Y'all keep listening. Y'all keep rocking with me, and we gonna keep this thing going. My next award is my hidden hero. That goes to my aunt Alice. I call her Ali. Backstory. I came up with that name. I gave my aunt that name. One day she asked me to say Aunt Alice, and out came Ali. You know what I'm saying? So for years she has been uh lovingly known as Instead of Aunt Alice, it's been Ali and Ali, whatever. You know what I'm saying? However I say it that day, that's what it is. But she has been my main critiquer. You know what I'm saying? She watches every episode. She figured out how to get it on her, how to get YouTube on her TV so she can watch me on the big screen. So she watches all my podcasts on YouTube. Um she was listening to me on Spotify, but Spotify kind of scared the hell out of her. So she don't use Spotify no more. I think it started playing just the episode out of the not my episode of some music out of the blue. So she doesn't listen to me on Spotify anymore. But she's been my main critiquer. She's always giving me critiques, always answering questions. What be it in the comments, she'll shoot me a DM or a text message, this is this, and this. But my Aunt Alice has always been there for me. Um, in certain absences and stuff like that and certain phases of the game, she's always been there for me. Um, and even in this new phase of life, she's here for me, giving me, like I said, giving me critiques and suggestions and constructive criticism and all that good stuff. So she, for most of this year, she's been my hidden hero. She's been the one. She doesn't like being out there in the forefront, with the stuff that she does, but she's not really too hip on commenting on posts and stuff like that. She just recently started commenting on posts and all that good stuff. But shout out to my Aunt Alice, man. On Instagram, her name is Ask Aunt, Askaunt, and she's a great person to get advice from. A great person to get suggestions from. She's the one that gave me the motivation to do a solo show. Besides other people. I know other people have told me, "Hey, you need to do a solo show. You need to do a solo show. This is how you need to do it." But she actually gave me, the outline platform for it, and just, she was kind of the one that put, everybody pushed me to the edge of the cliff. She's the one that made me jump, so to speak. And I appreciate you, Ali. Okay. Just to touch, I think I already touched on the clothing brand. I had that on here. Y'all just continue to look, man. Y'all go on mentalgame.net, man. Mentalgame.net. MNTL. I'm about to forget. I'm about to mess up the name of my own clothing brand. Shame on me, man. MNTLGAME.net, man. Y'all go down there, man. I got something for everybody. It's cold now. It's a little, it's bipolar in Houston right now. Got the hoodies on fleek, man. The hoodies on deck. Go on there and get you a hoodie, man. Uh, everybody needs to everybody needs a little motivation every now and again. But if y'all want to support me and what I'm doing, go to the website, you know what I'm saying? Or you can hit that Cash App right there. You know what I'm saying? Donations are appreciated. I appreciate y'all. There's many other things that I'm doing going into the new year. But just want to touch on the clothing brand again. We still here, we still alive. The clothing brand is still a thing. So you know what I'm saying? Discount codes, y'all need a discount code, and I'll hook you up. Just hit me, text me. People, if you got my number, text me. See me on Instagram, Facebook. Shoot me a DM, man. I'll be happy to hook y'all up with a discount code. You know, I'm willing to do that. Because I appreciate y'all supporting me. Um, Another thing I want to get into, I just want to take the time out, just to acknowledge all of the people that we lost. Um, all the people that have transitioned and passed on in 2023. Um, and I just want to say they will be. I'm gonna take a page out of my brother's book. They will be soaringly missed. Um, a lot of these people that we lost cannot be replaced. They had a role to play and they played the hell out of it. Um, just want to pray for comfort for all of the families of the fallen and the lost. Um, you know, if you lost anybody this year, I pray for your comfort. I know we've been hit a few times on my side, on my side of this podcast stuff, and they will be soaringly missed. And I pray for comfort for everybody who's lost somebody. Pray for your families, and just always remember that no matter what, we need to move forward, because I know the people that have you know left me behind, in a sense, not in a negative way, but the people that have passed on, I know for a fact they wouldn't want us sitting around here moping and uh, you know just dwelling on it negatively. And I understand we human. If you need to cry, you need to cry. Do whatever you need to do to make yourself feel better. If that involves crying, you need to break something. Be smart about what you break. Um, you want to cry, cry. You know, uh, do what makes you feel better. Positively. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people do a lot of other stuff. I ain't gonna say it on the podcast, but you know, within certain reason, man, do what you got to do to make yourself feel better. Don't turn to the dark side. Don't turn to any negative thing or situation. Um, go about it positively, because I already know. If I was to go today or tomorrow, I would want y'all to celebrate my life and my legacy, what I'm leaving behind. I would want y'all to be here for my family, and I would want y'all to especially be here for my daughter and my nieces and nephews who dearingly love their uncle. Um, but again, man, rest in peace to all of the fallen in 2023. Um, I know, we had some major hits this year, and I ain't talking about music, but we've had some major hits this year. Um, I want to take this time now, to wish everybody a happy new year. Like I said in the beginning of the show, let's positively move forward. Let's get our minds right. Let's have a relentless pursuit for greatness in 2024. You know what I'm saying? Let's crush our goals. Let's, move on from old goals, and let's move on from situations that serve us no purpose. You know what I'm saying? If it's not making you happy, if it's not making you any money, if it's not helping you towards your goals, then move on from that situation that doesn't serve you. You know what I'm saying? To all my watchers, to all my listeners, all my subscribers, all my sharers, all my likers, I just want to simply thank you, man. I just want to say I appreciate everything, uh, all your support, all of the love, being understanding when I missed weeks and doing episodes because of whatever I got going on in my life. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate y'all just being here for me, and I appreciate y'all supporting me. And yeah, man. And showing me so much love, man. I just love all the love and all the critiques and just everything I've been receiving this year, man. With that being said, man, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Y'all remember, going into 2024, life's a mental game. Just make sure you got the right mentality to survive, man. I love y'all. Happy New Year.